Welcome back to the Like-Minded Opinion Podcast. This week, there's a lot going on, but I just got to say, I get a chuckle. Tucker Carlson is in Canada.
You're telling me to accept the
He's
slogan,
in Canada,
so it's incumbent on
and he
you
went to
to explain what the slogan
Calgary and
means
Edmonton,
and why it makes sense.
Well,
That
the
seems like a
Liberals are
common sense
losing their
rule.
mind.
If you're forcing
They
something down
are
my throat, tell me how it
absolutely
tastes
losing
before I
their
swallow
mind.
it.
They're saying Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist and he supports the far right, and he's a MAGA. Sure, he is a Trump supporter so far as I know, but Tucker Carlson is not a racist. He's not a white supremacist. Can't you come up with something on your own? I know CTV, CBC, in Canada, it's like, wow, you guys are so predictable. So Tucker Carlson was in Canada, and he was just saying, I guess he called the little tour, if you want to say that, but there's a couple speaking engagements. He called it Liberating Canada. And if you haven't seen his little clip where he phones Justin Trudeau and tells him that he's coming to liberate.
And I'd be grateful if you pass a message on to the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. We are coming to liberate Canada. We are coming to liberate Canada.
But put the the funny parts aside. What he said was true. Everything he said in that speech that he gave is true. Canada is in trouble. Canada needs to stand up to this tyranny that they have in Canada. Justin Trudeau is not a good leader. His party is not a good party. And the stuff that they're doing now, I just read there, CTV said, well, I mean, if they say anything negative, you can take it as take it to the bank, because very rare do they ever say anything about, the Liberals. So they're saying that Jagmeet Singh and Trudeau is getting together privately, and they're going to pair up and change the election laws. So what they want to do is they want to have mail-in ballots, which I don't care where you're living in this world now, you should know what that turns out to be. So why all of a sudden, since you tanked in the polls, I mean, you're zero approval rating. I mean, if you're above 10%, I'd be very surprised. So when you take a tank in the polls, you want to change the laws so that and change laws so that immigrants that's not even a citizen, just got off the plane, can vote. I mean, is that what you want? A lot of speculation around there, but hey, most of it is not speculation, in my opinion. But yeah, that's what's going on in the Liberal government. They will be returning to Parliament tomorrow, Monday, January 29th, 2024, and they're in Trudeau's speech, which on the YouTube podcast, I'll put some clips, but unfortunately for you guys listening, BuzzFeed or whatever, Apple, you won't get the visuals. But so in his speech, the caucus speech before returning to Parliament, he was saying that, they're going to wrap up their strategy, they're going to do more, and in the coming months, they're going to have a lot of fun.
Both our love and knowing that we miss her, but knowing that she's going to miss out on all the fun we're going to have over the coming months.
What do Liberals mean when they say they're going to have a lot of fun? It's not like when me or you say we're going to have a lot of fun. It's usually going to be at the expense of Canadians. So that's just the way it is. It's sad. It's sad to see how you can go around any large city in Canada and you'll find tent cities and homeless and you name it. Everything is taken up by immigrants. Everything is they where I'm from. They had the food banks. They people were coming in, the foreign students, and they were just piling up the food from the food bank, and then they would go on marketplace or something, and they would sell it. So I mean, this is what's going on in Canada.
So that there is a disturbing but entirely unsurprising trend taking place among what appears to be the international student population here in Canada. A viral Twitter post from this user showing a series of YouTube videos uploaded by Indian international students here in Canada talking about how they can get free food while studying here has been viewed more than 400,000 times and retweeted more than 1,000 times. It seems as though this Twitter post has struck a nerve. How to get free items in Canada, one video title reads. How to get free food in Canada for international students, another title reads. And how about this one, my personal favorite? Free food hamper for needy in Canada. And the thumbnail shows a mother with her child saying, I got diapers and chocolate. International students are coming to Canada to get access to our education system, paying twice the tuition fees that a Canadian-born student would pay, taking up spaces for Canadian students, and now it appears leeching off of the charitable initiatives of Canadians.
It is sad to see. And a lot of countries in this world is heading down the same thing, or already is there. I just listened to a guy from Ireland. He's saying that, like 80% of the hotels are full of immigrants. And if you got a hotel, you can't rent out any more than 20%, something like that. I take it at face value. I mean, a guy that lives there, he's pretty good. So I take his word for it. But he's saying that there's crime through the roof. Everything is bad. And people want to label. What I don't like is the mainstream media will say, oh, you're racist because you don't want any immigration. That's a lie. That's a outright lie. People that say that they don't want any more immigrants, it's not racist. It's you don't have enough resources to take care of the people that you have already. So it's not fair to the immigrants to say, yeah, go over. And by the way, these are immigrants that's recruited. Majority of them are recruited. Look it up. They're Canada and it's over, and the United States, they're over there recruiting. In my opinion, it's not racist. Anybody with a half a brain knows that it's not racist to say, listen, let's hold off. Let's take care of what we got. We let in, 2, 3, 4 million in a few months. Let's take it easy. Let's take care of these people. Let's make sure that there's jobs for everybody and work on the economy. And then when we get this leveled out, let's continue. No, they don't do that. It's bring it in, and just turn it to shit. People that have worked hard and trying to get, maybe get retirement and stuff. Their environments, their communities, they're just a cesspool anymore. There's places in Canada that was, the average community with nice parks and stuff, trails and everything. It's a cesspool. It is just overrun with feces and homeless. Is homeless a bad thing? Well, yeah, it is a bad thing. Is it a race? No, it's not a race. You shouldn't have homeless, but a country should take care of its homeless, of its veterans, of its disabled. That's just a fact. They should be taking care of its citizens. They shouldn't have police arresting peaceful protests and then letting violent protests continue. Do anybody with, like I said, a half a brain that looks at this stuff, are they going to say, yeah, that makes sense? No, they don't. The world looks at it and says, wow, that's stupid. You can't peaceful protest, but you can be violent and burn down churches and you name it. That's okay? Come on, people. Canadians, you got to wake up. The world has to wake up. The mainstream media is not telling you about France and Germany. And I mean, if they do, what I've seen is a little clip, the far right. No, they're not. They're not far right. They're farmers. They're farmers wanting their country back. They're farmers that don't want to be taxed to oblivion. They're farmers that worked hard all their life, and they don't want to be told you're not going to grow this, you're not going to do this, and you're going to be taxed, and we're going to increase your tax on your feed. We're going to increase the tax on your seed. They don't want that. They don't want it. And why should they? But the mainstream media labeled him as far right. And what's up with this mega? Like, everybody is saying that now. Like, make America great again is not good. Oh, when was America great? That's when they got on that bandwagon. Are you stupid? Are you really stupid? When was America great? There was a time, it was always corrupt to an extent, but I'm not talking about the minute details there. I'm talking about overall. When people had jobs, when people were happy for the most part. Yeah, there was a time. We're not talking about, we go back to Adam and Eve. I mean, that's stupid. What kind of mentality do you have to say, well, when there was slaves, when that wasn't good? No, that wasn't good. 100%. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees 100% that wasn't good. That's not the time that we're talking about. That's not the time that we're saying we should get back to. We should get back to probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago, whatever the time period is. I don't know. I have to look up when they were prosperous. So, but I mean, what's wrong with saying let's get back, make any country again, not just mega, to make Canada great again, make Britain great again. But you think because we say make Great Britain great again, it's going to go back to sailing ships around the world and conquering? We're not in that here. Come on, that's pathetic. Learn your history. Get some schooling. That's not what people is talking about. But the media jumps on that and says, "Oh, wow, yeah, when was slavery good? It wasn't good." Okay, let's get off the topic. You're being stupid. Anyway, so that's what else is going around that I can remember that I read this week. We know that from the previous podcast about British Columbia giving fentanyl to kids, and Tucker Carlson mentions that as well. Like he said, when people want to give fentanyl to your children without the parents' rights considered, they are killing your children. They want to kill your children. Plain and simple. Right? Do anybody else not agree? At one time, if a guy was standing at the corner handing out fentanyl to children at the playground, they'd have a fit. People would be, I don't even think the guy would make it home. So, I mean, without somebody maybe smacking them across the mouth and telling them, get out of here, you drug addict, right? Leave our children alone. But now the government wants to be doing this. And do that seem okay to you? Did that seem okay to me? It certainly don't to me. Like, I know this is not exactly doing the typical news, but my opinion, it's getting real. It's getting real fast. And they got countries now. You got England, you got Australia, you got Finland, I believe, Sweden, the U.S. I don't even know the rest. They're saying that they may have to go to conscription again. So they're going to take your children. They're going to, if they're fighting age, they're going to start, like they're saying, prepare for that. So what did that mean? When Australia is saying Russia is going to attack, when Sweden is saying Russia is going to attack, Finland is saying Russia is going to attack. So everybody is saying Russia is going to attack. Why would Russia attack everybody in the world? Unless he's being provoked, unless you're poking the bear, unless you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Oh, that wouldn't happen, would it? Really? Look at what they've done. Blew up the pipeline, blamed it on the Russians, and then it's proven fact that, hey, well, I won't get into that, but you know who did it. When you're looking around and they're telling you all this stuff, prepare for war, as if we don't have enough war already. You got Iran and Pakistan, you got Ukraine and Russia, you got, tensions between North and South Korea, you got China and Thailand, and like, come on. We don't have enough war and hot spots around the world that we need to just make another one. Come on. When the world as a whole is saying, oh, prepare, we don't have enough people in the military, we don't have enough people in our service, you can be sure that something is being worked on behind the scenes. It's just like COVID. When COVID, they put it out, oh, we got 5 cases in China, we got 100 cases in China, 1,000 cases, 10,000. Next thing you know, bam, you turn around after having a piss and you're locked down and you're told to wear a mask and where you can and can't go, what you can and can't buy, and so on. So, I mean, don't think that we wouldn't, it can't happen, right? But my opinion and my experience is when the world starts talking about the same script, when they're reading the same script, you can be sure something is happening. Something is being worked on. And when what is concerning to me, or maybe you as well, is when they're poking Russia. And Russia got its issues. Russia, I'm not saying Russia is a good country, and I'm not saying it's a bad country. Putin definitely, is he's not going to be selling Boy Scout cookies by no means, but he's a lot of the stuff that people are saying that he's doing, he's not doing, and it's to start something that let's face it. I mean, they admit on film, they admit in interviews, they admit in their committees, they admit in their Davos meetings and so on. This is not just something that I'm coming up. This is well known by well-known people that have got great teams of investigators and journalists. They comes out and they tell you that they want to depopulate the world by whatever means. So if it's not by one means, it's by another. And if people don't go along with certain things, they will find another way. If it's not by force, it'll be by proxy. It'll be some way. If it's not, usually they default to war of some sort, or some sort of hate or something. So I'm going to say, I'm pretty concerned. I think that maybe, I mean, they're throwing around the World War III thing pretty easily, but I don't think that it's far-fetched at all. I mean, we're due for another war. I mean, it's been 60 years without a world war, or 70 years, whatever. So, maybe the war machines now is all oiled up and ready to go. I don't know, but seriously, it's not a good time to be living in unless you're an elite, unless you're building bunkers like Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, and buying little islands and putting multi-hundreds of millions of dollars in bunkers. Well, why are you doing that? Nobody does that if nothing going to happen. And these are the guys that's pushing these agendas, pushing these perverted ways anyway. So if you see the canary trying to get out of the mine, you should be worried, because the elite is the canaries. And they're the ones that always, they know what's going on. So when they start building bunkers and buying islands and so on, you can be sure that they think as if they're not going to be affected. Like, come on. But they think that they're going to be able to wait this out in their bunkers and emerge like a turtle's head out of the shell and be ruler. all the big rulers of the world thinks that that's what's going to happen. Hey, don't know. Maybe it is. But it ain't going to be without mass destruction. That's for sure. So anyway, folks, that's just my ramblings on today. Hopefully, check out the YouTube channel of the same name. And I just started that. Kind of experimenting with this podcast. It just allows me to